So here we go. We want to welcome you back to the third segment of the Fan Spot. Again, I'm Jeff Wise, along with Dre Tucker and Chad Allen, and we're talking about these cardiac Cowboys. And I know people are probably sitting there going, I'm so tired of this man calling them the cardiac Cowboys. But here's the deal. Unless you're a Cowboy fan, you have no idea why I call them that. So, anyway, the mentality of this team.
You love them when you hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I live with that all my life.
Mm-hmm. But now the mentality of this team, you know, we were talking about, you know, if this game against Philadelphia, if this is going to propel this team to play better, if this was the spark that they needed. And I'll be honest with you, I want to say yes, but the history of the Dallas Cowboys, the things that they have done in the past, makes me apprehensive about saying
that. You can't just buy in yet.
You absolutely
can't
right.
You can't buy in yet because
I need to
as soon as you buy in, that's when they pull the rug from out underneath you.
Right.
Because
you're like, oh,
there's one thing that they've said about Tony Romo. If things go according to plan, how many more games we got left in this one? 2, 3?
Yeah, as far as the November.
He's a good November.
He's great in November.
But for some reason, when that calendar turns to December 1st, not in no fault of his own always, because we had 2 games in that one year when we played exceptionally well, but we were snake bit.
Snake bit, yeah.
So we lost those games, like the punter year, and they
was that
like
08
Arizona.
That was that 08
No, but Arizona beat us 3 years in a row on fluke plays. 3 years in a row.
For some reason, we always had an issue with
howling.
Remember,
the punt return.
No, not him.
No.
The boy, Patrick Peterson. But Patrick Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the one year.
It was LaRon Stevens howling when he caught that that screen.
Yeah, that. But then Patrick Peterson took the punt return and won the game.
Yeah.
But remember the one year we was in, because we always seem to be in a similar situation. If you win this game, you're moving closer to.
Right.
But we always seem to lose that game. So, okay, we tied the score. Well, no, not tied the score. The score is 25-18 or something. Miles Austin scores a touchdown.
2010.
David Buehler misses extra point.
Yeah. That was in 2010. That was that was the season. And who was that? The Stephen McGee had threw him the touchdown. I mean, it was pretty. Yeah. You know, and we're right there. And I'm thinking to myself, this game is over. We got this.
No.
And he misses it.
Missed extra point.
And we
It would have been a tie. Would have been tied.
We would have been tied.
We'd have went to overtime again.
Yeah.
So for some reason, our games always, us in Arizona is always. It's always a funny game.
If you recall that
game, they for St. Louis.
But
you're
right.
But
if you recall that game, the Cardinals jumped on us, man. They had two picks. They had 2 pick six.
Yeah.
At the beginning of that game, because who was quarterback in that game?
Romo.
No, it wasn't Romo. In 2010, I remember Romo was hurt. Romo didn't finish that season.
Okay.
It was Kitna.
John
Kitna.
Yeah.
Kitna was on that.
No, I'm sorry. And no, he was hurt too. Remember, we were actually playing with Stephen McGee. Yeah. Stephen McGee finished the last 2 games of that season with us in 2010. Yeah. Because Kitna got hurt.
He's no longer there.
Now, I don't know where he is. Is he on the sideline?
No, we cut him.
We cut him.
We only got 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, we ride with 2.
Well, good. Because I tell you what, man, I thought he was holding up a roster spot anyway. I kept saying that. Now, my thing was
because he was showing, but he just didn't seem like he was growing.
Yeah, and you know what? And the thing about it, I mean, he could only throw to one side of the field. I don't know if anybody else ever picked that up about him.
I didn't like the way he threw.
He was very one-dimensional when it came to some of the throws that he could make. You know,
and that's where Jerry struggles. One thing about Jerry, he knows certain talent, certain pieces, but quarterback's not one of them.
No, quarterback is definitely not one.
Because we always sitting there like, okay, who's behind Romo? I mean, even though we may know, we got to think about it. Oh, yeah, we got Orton. I mean, and I ain't saying Orton's serviceable. He's pretty much a Kitna.
Right.
But he don't have the heart. Kitten had a lot of heart.
He did. It's no question about it.
It's just that one thing about Kitten, he made a lot of bad decisions.
He's just like his president, you know what I mean? Just like Romo. He's making a lot of bad decisions at times, you know, but like, you know, we said we was talking about as far as the mentality.
Don't get him. Please don't get him started.
You say that.
Don't get him started.
So you talking for him then? He must be talking for him, man.
Stop it. Listen, let me ask you a question. What about the involvement of some of these other players? I've been making. You already know who I'm getting ready to mention. You know who I'm getting ready to mention. Come on, man, you have to admit it.
Well, Dunbar fumbled the other day.
No,
he almost cost us the game. Because if they would have scored on that.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley.
It might be, you know what? I'm going to give you credit because
we even said something about that.
What's the boy's name, man? Where's he at?
Kevin Ogletree.
Where is he?
That's just it.
The APB's been put out.
And you know what?
They got the search parties out in Dallas looking for him.
And you know what my
they said
point
he's
is?
hiding somewhere.
My point is guess what? We don't have time to figure that out. We got a few games left in the season. We need to get somebody in that slot position that's gonna be a threat.
For somebody
that's right. Because this is what I noticed in that game. You know what?
I mean, I was giving him a lot of credit, but I'm watching him. He's not even.
He seems
for
like
one game he was on the same page.
Right.
Then okay, he was in the valley. Then now his concentration seems, but he's back to the Kevin Ogletree that we wanted to replace with Plaxico Burress.
Right.
He's back to that guy.
And see, you know what? But this is the reason why I'm saying when I watch
He's
Sunday's
going in there
game,
like this. Hand me my check.
Yeah, ski mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He going in there getting the check, and he is robbing us blind. I can catch as many balls as he caught.
But this is the reason why I keep making this big deal about this Beasley kid, man. When I watched him in Sunday's game, this is what I saw. I saw Philadelphia looking at the way this kid running routes, and they said, you know what? We need to double up on this guy. And they did. They had to. It was either that or he was going to burn you all over the field. They had to do it. I'm telling you, man.
I only saw maybe 3 plays. 3 good plays.
Listen.
I saw that.
And here's the thing. And you know what? And if you go back and you roll the tape and you see every time he gets on the field what he's able to do. Man, he's so quick off the break. And that's what I love.
Okay, well, I tell you what. Let's just put it out there now. Let him start then these next 2 games.
I'm all for that.
I want him to play. The reason why I want him to play because I want to see
what we talking about.
I want to see it.
And guess what? And in fact, there was one play. I can't remember what happened on that play, but somehow or another, Beasley shakes his dude, man, and he's wide open down the field.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna point the play out.
The only thing.
Okay, we running 4 receivers. 4 receivers set. Now, this is your man, Cole Beasley. Mm-hmm. He's lined up one-on-one. And Troy Aikman mentioned it. He said, now Cole Beasley's by himself in the slot. He didn't get off the line.
No, you know what? Here's the thing.
He didn't get off the line.
He did get off the line.
Because he threw the ball to Dez Bryant.
Right. He did
overthrew Dez Bryant because I caught it. But I said, Beasley one-on-one. Right. All he got to do is shoot straight down the field.
Right. And if you remember, they rolled who was it? They rolled down in that slot position against him. Because in fact, I believe he took an inside step.
Okay.
Right.
He's working his way in.
I'm telling you, man. This kid,
he's working his way in, but he got to get his feet wet.
Right.
He's got to get. I mean, we can't just throw him in there and expect him to perform at a, as you said, Wes Welker level. We can't expect that. So we got to give him a little play here, a little play there to get him comfortable with defenses and what he sees. Because what he see in college, that is nowhere near what he's seeing out there in the NFL. Because you might see, okay, you look like you one-on-one here with this DB. And you got a guy playing over top. So you got to be able to envision if something changes and break your route off.
But this is the thing that I've been saying about it. When I'm going to, and I understand that you're saying, you're coming out of college and that, but in his program, what they specialized in was running routes. if you look at SMU's whole program, all their receivers that come out of these guys can play. These guys are route runners. That's what they do.
Did Eric Dickerson come from there?
SMU? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's not a lot of players I remember. But you know what? And every week I want to see him do well. I mean, I want us to have somebody, because
in that slot position, that is going to be a threat.
Like the Patriots have Wes Welker. I think Romo needs more than, because sometimes he get Witten happy. Like the one play we were talking about.
Just Witten happy.
One play we were talking about. He threw the ball to Witten. It wasn't even a 2-yard game. He might as well threw it away.
Yeah, and it was just like, it was like a 3rd and 7. You throwing the 2-yard pass.
And
I'm like,
okay, Witten needs some help. Witten can't carry this offense.
And that's why.
Because Dez has yet to, he's a dynamic receiver, but he's yet to step up and put the cape on and say, look, I'm going to carry this offense.
And you know what? And I'll tell you this here.
Miles Austin got hurt. We didn't see, when he got hurt, he ran half routes the rest of the game.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to push off. He was like,
gimping, and wasn't even a factor.
And we can't have that. I mean, so
we getting into the thick of the schedule, whereas we got to have everybody.
4 out of our next 5 games is in
guys,
Texas, well, whatever we call the stadium. Monstrosity.
How do you feel about Dwayne Harris? How do you feel about getting him in there in this receiver line?
If he can catch, try.
And now I'll tell you something about Dwayne Harris.
But I know they better not take him off the kickoff and punt return.
No.
They better not take him off that.
I know.
That's his spot now. He done earned that.
But look, okay.
Yes,
specialty plays.
About that.
Specialty plays. Okay. Like, Dwayne Harris, to me, right now, this juncture of his career, is a Patrick Creighton type of receiver. Okay. You put him in, and they're not expecting much out of him.
But you go to him.
And you send him on a crossing route, because you see he got the speed.
Yeah.
Send him on a crossing route.
And if he break a tackle or two,
he's off.
He's gone.
See, and you know what? But I'll tell you this here. You know what the Cowboys, if they're going to use him, because as far as him being...
He's not going to be a 1 or 2 or 3.
Nah, he wouldn't be that.
4 or 5.
Right. But I'll tell you what he can do. Dwayne Harris is the type of player that you get him in there on certain plays, and all you do is get the ball in his hands, and he'll make everything else happen. Right. He's that guy.
Because he's hungry like
Absolutely.
that. Absolutely like that.
I mean, you see how, he's pretty, shifty, and he knows where to go when it comes to, what's happening.
But he runs forward.
He's always going forward. I love that about him. I absolutely agree with that.
We see something, we're seeing something here where everybody can implement what like other teams implement. I really want to see Cole Beasley, because I think that gives your offense another element.
Whole element, and the fact is that the defense,
and that takes pressure off of your star guys when other guys are making plays.
Yeah, and that's what all the other teams do. They find other receivers.
Okay, the Falcons have Roddy White, Julio Jones, but they also got that number 83 guy that they sneak him in there every now and then. You don't have to give us, Cole Beasley doesn't have to give us all-star stats. Just when you in there, we expect you to make a play. We got to put you in position.
We have to put him in
position.
And they have to trust him to make a play. So, don't put him out there as a decoy.
They trusting him more and more every week.
But get him
because he's getting more snaps. And like I told you, I said, if he deserves to be out there, they're going to put him out there. Right. So, okay, the 1 week he was in for 1 play. Last week he played 3. He played 3 plays that I seen. And I'm watching him. Every time he's in, I'm like, he's matched up one-on-one. Now what you got to do, whenever I see somebody one-on-one, I just think that's the guy you should go to. Especially if he can catch.
Anything can happen.
Especially if he can catch.
Anything can happen.
You always want to go to the guy that they're least expecting that's in this play. You can tell, like, when I watch our formations, you can tell when we're running the ball or when we're passing the ball. And that's what I'm saying. You want it to be,
just catch them all back.
When he say kill, Romo says kill, kill, kill. But you can tell the receiver, the way he comes off the line. If he's coming off the block, or he's coming off to get the ball.
Or if they're bunched in, you already know it's a run. It's not like, they're spreading 5 wide and running a dive play.
We don't have a runner on our team that can get you that 1 yard. Because even DeMarco Murray is a elusive back. He's not a guy that's going to take it and pound it up in there.
Right.
But then we got to be careful because of him. Because now 2 years in the league, you didn't miss 4 straight games.
He probably won't be playing on Sunday.
Can we count him? And I was wondering about this last year when they anointed him. I said, Oklahoma, he was all often injured. So how does that translate to the professional game? Are you going to have these little bumps and bruises that keep you out? Or are you going to say, look, I'm here for my team? I mean, Felix Jones is showing a little bit something different here lately. I'm not.
Well, he got to lose some weight. Yeah, I'm going to just call it. I mean, you know, he had conditioning problems. You know, I can look at him and tell he picked up a lot of weight.
He did pick up a lot
of weight. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah.
like, come on, man, like a fullback.
But maybe
we're going to take a quick break because we're at time here. And when we come back, we're going to finish up the final segment of the Fan Spot, and we'll continue this discussion. We're going to talk a little bit about these running backs and this offensive line. So